And now, it's time for the Entertainment Execution Layer Podcast. In this episode, we have a tale of two aliens as The Thing meets E.T. This will be a side-by-side comparison of the two films released in 1982, just a couple of weeks apart from each other. So, let's march on in to episode number 4, E.T. versus The Thing. Alright, so, E.T., the extraterrestrial, is a tale about a beer-drinking, Reese's Pieces eating, dildo-headed alien who finds himself on Earth and the only thing he wants to do is get home. This alien is a non-terrifying wimp. On the other hand, The Thing is an evil, shape-shifting invader who absorbs and imitates its victims, turning them into the perfect replicant. 10 people end up dead in this transaction. So, in the end, the better alien is The Thing. Alright, so, E.T. was a family-friendly film directed by Steven Spielberg. It had a budget of $10.5 million and it raked in $793 million. E.T. ended up becoming the #1 top-grossing film of 1982. The Thing was a dark, horror, sci-fi film directed by John Carpenter with a budget of $15 million and it only brought in $19 million. The movie was panned by every major critic at the time and ended up becoming the 42nd top-grossing film of 1982. E.T., on the other hand, was a critic's wet dream. Now, let's get into the two movies' aftermath. E.T. would be re-released into the theaters in 1985 and would later snag an extra 15 million in VHS units in the US. It ultimately grossed over 250 million in video sales revenue. The VHS cassettes was also rented over 6 million times during its first 2 weeks in 1988. That's rather impressive for such a boring movie. It would actually maintain this record until the following year when Batman came along and crushed it. In 2012, E.T. would be released on DVD and Blu-ray, and it would gross $24.4 million in sales revenue as of 2017 in the United States. It was also a merchandising success, which I'm not shocked. Doll units, 15 million sold by September of 1982. That was like a 3-month period between the movie's release in September. Not bad considering the fact that this film was a boring dud, making hundreds of millions of dollars, and then a whole bunch more in merchandising, dolls and shit like that. Well, I guess back then people went for optimism rather than dark, horrific shit. Now let's move on to The Thing's aftermath. I mean, The Thing didn't do too shabby itself, now did it? I mean, The Thing managed to build a substantial following itself. Well, at this point, you could probably guess which movie I'm favoring. It wouldn't be until later on in the 80s, when the home video market was booming, that The Thing would actually pick up an audience itself, and then later on, in the television circuit as well. It was through these two avenues that The Thing finally picked up an audience it deserved. And the critics, being the posers that they are, finally gave this movie good reviews because it was fashionable. I remember seeing this movie for the first time on the USA Network back in like 1991, and holy shit, I was impressed. And this is a movie that I watch every single year, and I've watched every single year since the first time I've seen it. And yet again, this movie has found itself a new audience in the form of YouTube reaction videos. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them out there. Over the years, this film received a video game, some comics, a novelization, It even got a prequel, even though the prequel sucked. Some of the movie's characters even got action figures, like the Blair Monster and the Norris Thing. It even got a DVD release and a Blu-ray release as well. Not bad for a movie that initially got stomped out and berated by critics, failing at the box office. And it was actually to a point where John Carpenter was fired from doing Firestarter. Now, in the end, E.T. might have made the bigger splash when it came to audience and money recoupment, but The Dark and Nihilistic Thing was certainly a way better film. I mean, what can I say? I just think that E.T. was cotton candy bullshit boring crap. I mean, how else can I put it? The Thing, on the other hand, was an action-packed bloodbath, full of suspense and good acting, by the way. I'm actually rather glad to see that this movie is actually getting the respect it deserves later on down the line. And to all the critics who actually railroaded this film back in '82, suck it. Now, I didn't do this as a review. I did it as a head-to-head comparison on two similar type movies that were made back in '82, being Aliens Invading Earth. I might do reviews later on down the line, at least for The Thing, because I really do not want to sit through E.T. again. And like I said, I already watch The Thing at least once a year, so that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. If you haven't checked out The Thing, what are you waiting for? If you hadn't checked out E.T., I don't blame you. Like I said, it really is a boring movie. And to be quite honest, the other movie that Steven Spielberg was involved with back in 1982, Poltergeist, was way better. I just don't see how that dud of a movie made it to #1 grossing in 1982. And I'm guessing it probably won an Academy Award. Not sure about that though. I'd have to check to see. Alright, so this has been The Entertainer for the Entertainment Execution Layer Podcast. Until next time. Be careful who you hang out with. They might not be who they appear to be.